Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. And I know you're all thinking that I'm probably just going to be doing another game through playing several different apps, but I'm actually not. Oops, sorry. Today I'm going to be telling about my 5th grade year of elementary school. Yes. And I'm specifically telling you about this story because I absolutely hated the 5th grade. My teacher, I didn't like her at all, and I found her extremely mean. And she didn't make learning interesting for any of us at all. Even the geeks didn't want to learn from her. No one wanted to learn from her. So I try to avoid, from my teacher, I would try to avoid as much homework as possible because I did not like her, and the way she looked at me, she looked like she didn't like me either. So I went along with, hey, she doesn't like me, I don't like her, let's go around separate ways and see how she does. Since I honestly, in real life, I'm a very extremely shy person. I can't speak in front of a huge crowd or even the smallest crowd without hyperventilating. I don't know, it's just this extreme anxiety that I get. And that's actually happened to me quite a few times within my 7th grade year that I'm in now. Oh, hey. But yeah, that's happened quite a few times. And I'm pretty sure there's no fixing it. But other than that, I did not like my teacher, and she obviously, by the way she looked at me, did not like me either. I'm gonna call her Miss G. Yes, that's what I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna call her Miss G. So Miss G did not sit down for anything. You could ask to go anywhere or do anything, and she will say no. She never really had any parties, or literally maybe once or twice every couple months she would bring in Half Moon cookies with a juice box. We would eat that doing iReady, and then we would carry on our day doing work upon work. She was nowhere near fun for me. So hang on, I can't talk and spell. Hang on. I think that's it. Yes. Okay, yeah. So I didn't really like her that much, and the way she looked at me, she looked like she didn't like me either. So we just kind of sat there staring at each other like who's gonna make the first move on doing what. And the only time that I actually had fun in the class was maybe the day before graduation, the day before my 6th grade graduation. My teacher put on a movie, and we watched the movie, and row by row she would call up row by row, and she made us ice cream sundaes. That was the only fun thing that she ever did. I don't know why. I don't know what her problem was. That's just how she was, and I kind of really confused why. I've been really confused why my entire, ever since the 5th grade. It was so confusing. Nobody really liked her. Of course, every teacher has their favorites, and there was always these 3 main people that would be the teacher's favorites for every class that I had, and I've had these 3 students in a lot of my classes. So we're gonna call them B, S, and A. So B, S, and A were somewhat of the geeks and nerds of the school. I guess that's what you can say. They were geeks and nerds. They were the teacher's pet. There you go. Yes, they were the teacher's pet. They were the teacher's pet. They could get away with absolutely anything, and they could get away with literally. Sometimes it's they can get away with murder, and the teacher would not care because obviously they're the teacher's pet. So I tried to avoid as much work as possible, but she didn't care at all on what I did. Like, I could honestly rob a bank and she probably wouldn't care at all. Like, she was the meanest person I have ever met in my life. But the only person that only two people that actually kept me sane there were my two best friends. And I'm mentioning their names, so we're gonna call them L and E. L and E were my, like, best friends. They're like my BFFs. Like, we were friends since the 4th grade. I knew E since the the 2nd grade. I've known E since the 2nd grade, but we never really talked until after I had met L, because L actually introduced me to E. L was my first friend, and sadly I had my first friend in the 4th grade because I was a very, very shy kid that never talked to anybody. So after that, I was really kind of closed off. And the only person I would ever actually talk to would be L. And then after L had introduced me to E, it was me and her. Like, it was me, L, and E. Yeah. It was me, L, and E, and we would always hang out during recess and stuff like that. And no matter what, we'd always find a way to talk to each other, whether it was passing notes to this kid I talked to. Let's call him, we'll call him Y. And he was, we would pass notes sometimes through him, since we were, like, on opposite sides of the classroom. So we would pass notes to them just so we could talk to each other. And I remember, eventually, me, L, and E ended up splitting up. First, it was me and L in the 5th grade, together, and E was in my uncle's class. And then it was me and, it was me and L in the 6th grade together, and then me and E in the 5th grade, while L was with my uncle. So, yeah, it was kind of mixed up, but we would always find ways to talk to each other, whether it was during recess or something like that. And then eventually, once we hit the 7th grade, my two best friends ended up going to a different school, which I did not like at all. I was kind of lonely, to be honest. Hang on, I think I hear something. Yeah, that was my dad. But they went to a different school. Now it's L and E together instead of me with one of them. Like, I still have drawings since L loved drawing. Oh my god, I'm getting scared. Oh my god. But L, like, really, really loved to draw, and she would draw me these pictures all the time, and they were amazing. And maybe I'll show a few of them, possibly, it depends. But yeah, after a while, we had all ended up splitting up, and they went to two different schools, and Y ended up going to a completely different school out of where I live. So, because he would have been in the school with me, but he went to a different school instead, since he moved. And I know where Elle lives, since she lives right over where I used to live before I moved. And E lives closer to the school where we went to in elementary together. But it was all super complicated, honestly. Like, my 5th grade year was pretty fun. My 5th grade teacher was actually super fun. He was actually my first guy teacher that I had, and I thought he was pretty cool, except for the fact that one time when he told me that I had awful handwriting. He kind of told me I had awful handwriting, but I did have pretty bad handwriting. It was kind of like chicken scratch. It was awful. But I flew past it, and after the state tests that we had, after those, we didn't have any homework, and a couple weeks before the year ended, we were able to move our desks to wherever we wanted to, so at least I was able to sit next to E. So that was pretty cool. And keep getting scared, I'm sorry. And at least for graduation, I was at least able to say goodbye to Elle. And then once school started up again in the 7th grade, I was, in the beginning of the year, we were at the store, me and my mom were at the store. And my mom went into the bathroom, and I was waiting on the outside by the car. And I was so surprised because E had walked over. I'm like, hold on. Like, I was so confused. I was like, oh my god, she's actually here. Like, we did not expect to see each other, like, at all. So